Welcome to the Prince Makai channel. It's your boy Prince Makai.
Yeah. When all the smoke like a vape pen. Hold on, brother, chase him. Say my name, I pop up like the boogeyman. Fucking the game over, dropping bangers with no.
And I am back with another juicy story time.
It was juicy.
Juicy, baby.
Okay.
I lost my virginity to a female. When I was 14 years old, going on 15. She was actually my best friend at that point of 3 years in the neighborhood that I grew up in. And it was 2014. It was when school had just got let out. She had a crush on me for a while. To me, it's like, how do you not? I'm gay as fuck. Like,
that's stupid. Use your common sense.
not to talk bad about her, but maybe she was just that desperate. I don't know.
What? The thirst is real.
This is the second time she asked me out. And she asked me out when I was at her house. Her little brother had some friends over. They were downstairs in the living room watching. The first Purge had came out. And it was her and I chilling in her room.
I'm chilling. Thank you.
And we were upstairs listening to music, chilling. She was on her iPad. And then she says, I have to go to the bathroom. Would you read what's on my iPad? She went to the bathroom and it says, I like you. Would you be my boyfriend? I said, oh my God, we're going through this again. So I said I could do two things. At the time, I was in the closet. And I know, right? Makai in the closet. Lose my virginity right now. Because if it ever got out, it would get out that I lost it to a girl and not a guy. Or I can be like, you know what? Let's call her Keisha. You know I don't like you like that. You know we're just friends. So, no. But I said, you know what? Let me take this opportunity to lose my virginity. And that's what I did. She came back and she was like, so what do you say? And I just kissed her. And it was the grossest thing. I'm gay, so it's like kissing a girl. To me, it was like, oh, like I wanted to throw up.
Oh, I had almost gagged just then.
She pushed me back. She said, oh, I definitely want you now. It was like some like Lifetime movie. She's dramatic. I'm dramatic. We're cancers.
You're the perfect gentleman.
I asked her, I said, well, Keisha, do you want to? She says, Makai, are you sure? Like, I want to. And I said, do you want to? She was like, yeah, but I'm a virgin. And I said, well, obviously I'm a virgin too.
But I figured if I was gonna present myself as a virgin to anyone, it should be you.
Very nice. Zoe. She's a virgin.
She's my favorite one.
Okay, every time we hear steps coming up, what we'll do is I'll have my pants halfway down. You have your pants halfway down. And then if we ever hear people coming up, we'll pull it right back up. And we're not going to lock the door because it's going to be suspicious. We did it right there. And we did that for about 30 minutes. And she had the time of her life. I remember her facial expressions to this day. I was just like, okay. I was thinking of another guy in my head. If she gets pregnant, I don't think she was on birth control. That's why she did let me know. I said, well, first of all, you're getting an abortion because I'm 14 years old. You're 15 years old. What do we look like being parents? Because it was unprotected. So I said, well, yeah, most definitely you're getting an abortion.
I love abortion. Your stuff sucks.
Thankfully, she didn't get pregnant. We did it again the next day. After that, for some reason, I kept wanting to do it. I don't know why.
Snap out of it.
And after that, she told me that she wanted to be with me. And I told her once again, I said, and this is over the phone, I would say, yo, I'm gay. I just wanted to try it. I wanted to get the experience out the way. I took her virginity. She actually snuck me in the house. Her parents were very strict, and her parents worked in New York. And they would leave at like 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, won't be back till like 6. So they were very strict African parents. They had security cameras in the house. She would cover them with a blanket before she would let me in. So she risked getting in trouble. So she did all of that just for me to tell her that I'm gay and I don't want to be with her. So I definitely understand her hurt with that. Like, wow, like just want to keep being friends. How can we keep being friends when we've had sex? But at the time I was 14 years old, I was immature. I was like, no, I wasn't trying to see it her way. And I told her no. She hung up on me.
This fool hung up.
Then she sent me a series of texts cursing me the fuck out. I tried to call her. She didn't answer. So about 2 days later, I went over there with my friend, my gay best friend. We went over there. She says, Makai, I have morals. I can't keep letting you come around, fucking me. So we started arguing, and I'm like, well, woo, woo. I said, fuck this bitch to my friend. And as I'm walking, because in the condo complex, you have to walk up the stairs to the actual door. So, because it has had the garage underneath it. I'm walking down the stairs and she pushes me.
She pushed me. These two fingers, she did like that.
I fall a couple steps. Mind you, this is not the first time she's put her hands on me. I lost it, and I literally dragged her down the stairs. I grabbed her, I ran up, I grabbed her, she tried to close the door, I grabbed her, and it was short though. My friend broke it up. My neighbor across the street ran across the street and broke it up because she ran back in there, and her brother was trying to come out. Like, he had a knife. I definitely understand if a person was coming at my sister, you better believe I'm getting a knife too. So shout out to her brother, because he was a real one for that. She kept, pulling him back in, trying not to let him in, and she closes the door, and then they're taunting me from inside the window. I said, okay, bet.
I'ma steal your ass, bitch.
I pick up something and I just throw it at their window. Then I go up to the door, I try to open their door, I try to kick their door. That same day, I had a Twitter. I didn't realize what you say on social media can really get you in trouble, and what is considered cyberbullying and what is not considered cyberbullying. And I went on there, I started going in on her. Start saying the most hateful, disgusting things that you can think of. And a part of it was self-hating too. Literally, my mom and I and my brothers were coming back from, I think it was Olive Garden, because it was the day after my birthday. Her parents left a note on my door. The note said, "Can you please have your son stay away from our daughter?" She took me and she walked my ass over there. Her parents pretty much said, your son would kind of force himself in the house. And I'm like, oh, really? And your son climbed up our balcony. Oh, okay, really?
That never happened. I don't even know what the you're talking about.
Yada, 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 yada. So we're all talking on the steps. And I'm like, so you're not going to tell them what happened? You're not going to tell them that we had sex? The mother didn't believe me. So she didn't even let her mom know that we had sex. I'm like, really? I know your parents think that you are a goody two-shoes kind of girl, but you could have just told them the truth. So I kind of felt really hurt by that, because even though we had a confident, a big blow up, I thought you would at least owe it to me to be honest, because we were best friends at that point for 3 years. And my mom was like, my son is definitely going to stay away from your daughter. So after that, we leave. 2 days later, this is when Keisha found out about the tweets on my page. And my dumbass actually tagged her in one of them.
You're not smart. Oh.
The police came to my door, right? I am petrified. Sits us down at the dinner table, printed out the tweets that I had posted.
She knew exactly what she was doing.
And my mom was just in shock. I remember her to this day. She took my phone, because obviously it's a Samsung, so it's a battery. She took my phone, took out the battery, and says, no phone. Literally, he says, now this is an open case. And so also, the police had also talked to Keisha and her family. And so I told the police officer my side of the story, and I said, this is what happened. And I was honest about it. And he says, you know what, I don't believe you. I can tell when someone's lying. And I'm like, well, give me a lie detector test. That's what I said. You must not be really good at, detecting lies.
Give me a lie detector test. Because trust me, I'm passing that.
Before he left, he told us that I need to stay off social media until the case, starts and is, it's over. I cried the whole night. I called my dad freaking out, because I'm thinking I'm going to go to juvie, because this is a serious thing. Cyberbullying was a felony. 2 weeks after that happened, we moved to another town. Nothing ever came up with the case. We never got a call back. The course just dropped it. That was a big lesson for me, and I've never done anything like that since. Years went by. It's 2020 now. 6 years later, I go back home to visit my friend and to visit my other friends in the neighborhood, because they were still living there. And we literally saw Keisha and her brother outside the house. And my best friend, he was like, do you want to say hi? And I'm like,
seriously? After what happened?
He was saying, I think you guys should finally squash it and nip it in the bud. And so he grabbed her. She went across the street. I did apologize. She apologized to me as well. It was a little awkward at first. And then next thing you know, 5 minutes later, we're having a conversation. We're laughing. It was like old times. Her brother came and was talking to us. And it was my best friend's little brother was here too. And she was just letting me know things that's going on in her life. And everything was fine to me until I said, you know what? I want to talk to your mom. I'm thinking that in the last 6 years, she has finally told her mother and told her the truth about everything that happened. We went over across the street. Her mom was very hesitant. And I apologized. I said my actions, my behavior, it was disgusting. I was so embarrassed by those tweets that I literally reported my old Twitter so many times that I finally got it deleted. She was just telling me how she thought I was different from the other kids, and it was such a huge disappointment. And she was so horrified that I would go around and tell people that, you know, I fucked her daughter and tried to ruin her reputation. And I was supposed to be her best friend. And, you know, she trusted me.
Stop the tape. Stop.
At the time, it didn't dawn on me to say, so you didn't tell your mom that that's what really happened? For some reason, I don't know why. I wish I would have done that now. I'm 21. She's 22. You still didn't tell your mom the truth?
You can't woman up, and you never have.
You know what? I say, you know what? Whatever. She knows the truth. I know the truth. We will always be in each other's memories because that changed our lives. You will always remember your first love, and you will always remember the person that you lost your virginity to. I wish her well, still to this day. That was 2020, and now it's 2026, so another 6 years. I haven't seen her since. But I did see her father. He stayed in the same apartment building that my great uncle stayed in, and I was staying at the time because I came up. It was to visit my great grandmother that was dying at the time. And so when I bumped into him, literally walking out the door, he was coming in. He says, Makai? I said, Mr. So-and-so? I said, wow. He was like, oh my gosh, man, so nice to see you. You look great. I was like, thank you. Mind you, I thought he was going to either curse me out or just walk right past me. Literally was very kind to me. And I just said, wow, like that was a relief off my shoulders. So yeah, that's the story about me losing my virginity to a girl and everything that happened after that. But anyways, this is the Prince Makai channel. Thanks for watching. Peace.